Okay friends, it's time to get started on our job. One of the first things you need to do is safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground. After that, we're going to remove all 5 of our 19mm lug nuts and then the wheel. Now that we have the wheel off, we have a nice clear view of our front sway bar link. To remove this, we're going to come right up top here with a 14mm wrench to hold this nut. So the top of ours broke, but essentially you just want the nut to come off of there. And then what you would do is just go ahead and remove the rubber bushing and everything from the top. Next, we're going to start grabbing this bolt and start pulling it down. Just keep in mind, all this stuff is generally going to want to fall off as we start bringing it down. There it is, friends. Now that we have this side out of here, let's continue on over on the other side of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing. Remove the wheel, remove the sway bar link, and at that point, you'll be able to lift this bar up so that we can put in our brand new sway bar links. All right, now it's time to install our brand new sway bar link. So what we want to do is just take the large bolt that we have, one of our washers, and one of our bushings. If you look at this bushing, you can tell that I have a little bobble facing up and away from the washer. Now let's just go ahead and take it and put it through that lower control arm. We're going to go ahead and grab a bushing and another washer, and we're going to face it facing in the opposite direction, basically facing down towards that control arm. Now at this point, we can also continue on to grabbing our little sheathing here. Let's slide that over. We'll bring this up a little further. We'll put another washer, another bushing, put it in place here. There we are. Now we can start sliding this up and through the sway bar. We'll go ahead and pull down on the sway bar a little bit so it contacts up against this bushing, put another bushing, washer, and then the nut. Now for the nut, if you were to look at it, you're going to see that it has a little neoprene locker on it. It almost looks like a piece of plastic in the end there. You want to have that part facing up and away from it. So essentially you're going to put the nut side facing down. We'll just start that on there so it's nice and loose. Continue on over to the other side of the vehicle, do the same exact thing, and then we can continue by tightening this up. All right, so I've got the other side on there as well. Let's continue on by holding that top nut with a 16mm wrench. We'll use another 16 down along the bottom here and we'll start snugging this up. Now when we start to snug it up, you want to be paying attention to the rubber bushings. Essentially, we just want to make sure that everything's touching. We want to make sure that the bushings are pressing right up against the lower control arm here, and they're also pressing up against the sway bar. Both of these are important. What we want to do is also make sure that we don't flatten these out like a pancake. We're not trying to crush them and damage them in any way. Let's get the wheel up on here. We'll start on all of our lug nuts, snug them up, get the wheel back on the ground, and then we'll torque the lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds. Now with the wheels on the ground, let's torque these in a crisscross manner. Torqued. Okay, friend, we got our link in there. What's left to do now? Obviously, you want to make sure you do the exact same thing to the other side of the vehicle. After that, take it for a road test. Make sure you don't hear any funny noises. Thanks for watching.